Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to discuss a My Hero Academia episode for Season 5, this time Episode 2, and I am joined by Lucky Chi 7 once again to discuss the episode. Hello Lucky Chi, how are you doing?
Doing well, guys. Doing well.
Have you been... Sorry, go on.
No, go on with what you were going to say.
Have you been enjoying it? See, I believe that's probably still April 3rd in your time. No Saku Day and Hanami's birthday.
I've been enjoying it, though I can't say I've really done much of mine involved like I normally do with poems and whatnot, but, you know.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I really haven't done a poem in 2 years, but...
Maybe if you, let's see, if you still have time after the stream, you could try and type in a poem for Hanami's birthday or something, or some sort of Naosaku thing. But either way, we're not here to discuss Naosaku. We're here to discuss My Hero Academia, the second episode of Season 5, like I just said earlier.
Yeah, predominantly, for those of you, for anime only who don't know, this is officially the end of the Pro Hero arc. Officially. Like, it was practically done at the end of Season 4, but they had, like, little tiny things left to tackle. It wasn't much.
Which they pretty much did for the most part in this episode, but granted, they did do a little bit in the first episode. So, for those that like to skip the first episode that feel like they're all just fillers, well, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch that one.
I mean, out of all the fillers, and we said this last week too, this one's probably the best one that they've done.
Yeah, so enjoy it, especially if you're a fan of the big three. At least big three in terms of My Hero, but yeah, I think sure everyone knows what I mean. But yeah. So anyway, I believe we go more to a bit of Endeavor in the hospital, thinking about the encounter he had with Darby as he ends up trying to retrieve the noble courts, but also saying I'm going to take the advantage and attack both the two weakened top heroes. However, Endeavor and Hawks are saved by a rival of Bunny Girl. Well, that's probably not her actual name, but
Mirko. It's Mirko.
Mirko. I don't know. I just like calling her Bunny Girl because, well, she's pretty much got the quirk of a rabbit.
Well, it's not just that, but for those of you who've read the manga, specifically the latest arc, well, I won't go into detail, but Blue knows where I'm going with this.
Let's just say, if those who think that a bunny cannot be badass, well, you're in for a treat when it finally gets adapted to Season 6.
Well, besides that, there's one more component to that, but you know what I'm referring to.
You mean Kaguya's demon rabbit form?
No. I was talking about the...
Oh, My Hero Academia thing. Okay.
Yeah, I was talking about the, those things.
Okay, fair enough. Yes. Those particular, I think, 11 things.
Shots. Let's just say that. Shots.
Fair enough, but yeah. Either way, Darby, not wanting to fight, three of the top heroes, asks for this mysterious Engie to get him out of here, and it seems that for those that thought that, All for One only had this unique teleporting ability that moved the League of Villains out from the hideout, from the hideout radar, turns out there's someone else. Who it is, is anyone's guess, though. I think people might suspect it might be the Doctor. But yeah. Anyway, the fight is over, and then we get, and then we can finish up with what was shown in the cliffhanger last episode of Hawks confronting Darby, saying that this was not what we agreed to, man. And Darby's going I just decided to do it it's like, you did not tell me that you brought Endeavor. Blah, blah. And them just going on a bit about how they're trying to screw each other. With the sort of things that, you still got work to do Darby's saying, you still got work to do to Hawks before I let you see the big boss, which is your boy Shigaraki, Lucky Chi.
Yeah, which...
You're missing.
And that's about the manga too. I think it would have been great to get one specific shot of Shigaraki, as Darby's walking away, but yeah, it's whatever.
Well, clearly the anime decided we're fully adapting it, not adding this filler stuff to that, but who knows. Anyway, and then we get to a bit of a flashback to Hawks thinking, let's see, what a hero, I think, is it, I don't know, the people that run the hero organization or something? I don't know.
Yeah, essentially what was going on in the scene was that they wanted Hawk to infiltrate the League of Villains.
Yeah, since they feel like he's the only one who could do that, since he's not so fussed about reputation due to his backgrounds and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And also, which we get a little glimpse of, where everyone talks about how much of a prodigy he is, and we see him holding more of an Endeavor thing, as it seems that more tie into this unknown past about why Hawks is such a Endeavor admirer.
Mm-hmm.
But probably won't get to that until season 6. Anyway, as Endeavor Woodsy leaves the city, we're having one last talk with Hawks. Let's see. We understand. We end up finding out that Hawks ended up bringing him out in public in the first place because, well, he needed an excuse just in case something went wrong. But either way, but yeah, they part on somewhat good terms. I think Hawks still ends up somewhat annoying Endeavor to some extent, but yeah. Yeah, but oh well. Anyway, what we get is that Endeavor has returned to his family house where Shoto and all his remaining siblings are there.
Yep.
And they're just having some family dinner thing. Well, at least they're trying to. I mean, the sister is trying to at least. Well, what's her name again?
Which one?
The sister.
Fuyumi.
Fuyumi, oh yeah, okay, Fuyumi. At some point, I really gotta remember all these characters' names from My Hero Academia.
I mean, we're about to enter year 7. The series overall.
Yep, I really gotta remember all these names. But yeah, Fuyumi is trying to have a nice family dinner. However, Natsu just cannot. Let's see, despite his best efforts, just cannot because he does not like it, because he still cannot forgive Endeavor. When Endeavor tries to confront him, well, he lets go of an outburst about how he never got the time to spend with Shoto and learn his things. And then it goes about all the things that he's done with, like, Shoto ignoring the children, their mother, and even what happened to their older brother, Toya.
Mm-hmm.
And then just storms off.
Which, if I remember correctly, I mean, I know there was a flashback we saw, like, super, super early on, but I think it's the first time we've gotten the name, right?
Yes, I mean, we knew Endeavor had three other kids other than Shoto. One with white, Natsu and Fuyami with like the white hair, but we knew that someone had similar hair to Endeavor, but we had no idea.
Yeah.
But we had no idea what his name is and all that stuff. But there's been lots of various theories about it. One of which ends up being done by Dabio is when he ends up fleeing, he ends up saying Endeavor's real name. I'm not sure. I'm sure the anime watchers might get the hint of what that theory is. But just in case they don't, moving on. Anyway, from while Fumio is a bit upset that that she can't get her family to have a nice dinner. She's at least happy to learn that when Shoto says, like with Natsu, he still hasn't quite forgiven Endeavor, especially he's just found that because he's never really seen his siblings, particularly Natsu, behave in an outburst like that. But he's willing to see how Endeavor, as he's seeing how Endeavor the hero is changing. He's willing to see how Enji Todoroki, the father, might change as well. Let's see. Now, of course, I think we've said this many times before, Lucky Chi, but this is rather fascinating. The Todoroki family is probably the most interesting thing in the saga of their changing dynamics and all that stuff, but it's probably also one of the most controversial as well.
So, okay, I'm not gonna call out anybody, and I could be wrong about this. I feel like some people might just be kind of petty and not letting go of what happened with. Which again, I'm not saying what Endeavor did was forgivable because obviously it's not. But you see where he's going now, and I think in terms of development, I think it's good.
Yeah, no, I do think that the whole Todoroki family thing might personally hit to home with some of the viewers and all that stuff. I think that might be the problem you're seeing there, Lucky Chi.
Yeah.
But anyway, but this is probably more saved for when we do the Ritzy Paramount War podcast next week. Let's see. For the record, it will be recorded last week. When it comes out, that depends on how quickly Lucky Chi is finished editing it.
Depends on how long it is too.
Yeah, that as well. But anyway, as Endeavor ends up apologizing to Fuyami, saying that I said the wrong things to Natsu, and thinking about the conversation he had with All Might last season about what he needs to be the symbol of peace and all that stuff. He seemed to finally understand what All Might was going with. He seems to go outside to try and talk with Natsu. I can't recall if this scene was in the manga or not. Because it seems like he went out to talk with Natsu. I was wondering. Let's see.
It might have. As well.
It's been a while since I've read this arc, but in the manga format at least. But yeah.
I mean, you get the volumes though, so
yeah, I do have the volumes. Let's see. So yeah, I can always go and read those. But yeah. Also,
292, by the way. If you're wondering what chapter number it is, it's 192.
Oh, okay, thank you. Oh yeah, because we're
here. I can check it for you if you want to go.
Sure. But yeah. Anyway, we cut to Darby, who is thinking about Endeavor's words about did you kill Snack? And then him thinking about not remembering it, but then like, oh yeah, now I remember. And particularly thinking about how the families of the people of the families of the victims you killed, we get a rather, I suppose, from what it looks like, Darby crying, but it seems like he cannot really properly cry, and it can only be from tears of blood. Probably as a indicating that it seems his body is so burnt up that he can no longer cry. Which is kind of dark when you think about it.
Yeah. Although, I'm not going to go into specifics, but the more I think about it now, it does explain a few things.
Anyway, let's see. The only thing there's to comment on is the fact that, I kind of liked it was Aizawa was waiting outside and a cat was hissing at him. He was invited to dinner, but
I thought, to be fair, I thought that scene took place during sunset. I didn't realize that scene took place during night.
Well, I suppose it makes more sense nighttime because dinner. I guess but then again, not to mention it is winter. It is supposed to be coming up to winter now in that time.
True.
Which is always darker during that time.
Yep.
Anyway, now that the whole Pro Hero Arc stuff is done, though I'm not sure if the next bit of the episode is in the Pro Hero Arc or the beginning of the.
It's if we're going by what was established in the wiki, it's the last part of the Pro Hero Arc officially.
Okay. Anyway, as we all know, My Hero Academia ended on a cliffhanger with Midoriya for season 4 ended on Midoriya looking on these two figures. One, I think most people have probably guessed, All For One and his younger brother.
Blue, to address your question about whether or not where he goes to talk to Natsuo, that was actually in the manga.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, that just got confirmed. So yeah, we have no idea what their conversation was, but you'll probably figure out how it went the next time when you see the Todoroki family. But anyway, let's see. Getting to the main topic now. The second half of this episode, Midoriya witnessing the history between. All For One and his younger brother. The original.
Honestly, was the big highlight for me when it comes to this episode. That was the big highlight for me.
Fair enough. Midoriya, after doing some intense training, we see a little cameo of Mineta there, and all that stuff. Ends up, going to sleep without showering, apparently, but alright, didn't need to know those details of Midoriya, but okay.
Well, I mean, That was a tidbit from the manga too. So
Yeah, I know, but still, I'm trying to make a joke here. But yeah. Anyway, from what Midoriya is seeing, we end up getting our first panel of, besides, let's see, All Might's master. Let's see, I'm trying to remember her name.
Nana Shimura.
Nama Shimura. We end up getting a glimpse of some. Let's see, at least. Let's see.
There's
4.
9 users in total.
Let's see.
So there's got to be at least.
Yeah. 4. Let's see. We get 3 new. Let's see, 3 new faces of previous users for 1 for all.
Yeah, 2 of them are completely shouted out.
Yeah. 2 of them are still shelled out because let's see, it's clear that Koei wants to leave those 2 quite a bit of the mystery for some reason.
And actually, no, I'm not going to say it. I won't say it.
Yeah. Now, let's see. Save that for when we get to those episodes, Lucky Chi. But anyway, but what we can see, let's see. From what we can get, we got, like, besides Nama Shimura in her, standard, let's see, I suppose, Superman-like outfit, I guess you could say. But more like, I suppose maybe Superwoman, I guess, or Supergirl.
I was thinking a bit more of Supergirl.
Yeah, get more typical superhero get-up thing. We got this, like, let's see, a sort of like coated fella covering most of his body kind of thing next to her. I don't know, if I had to describe it, think of like Sheena without the hood. In Naruto, but yeah. I don't know, I'm not sure if you have a better thing. And then behind him is this sort of muscular dude that I think might, let's see, look a bit like Hellboy. If he was human. I think that's what most people have referred to this one.
Oh, Hellboy.
And the one before him, some scarred dude with, like, let's see, some sort of hero get up. I don't know. I haven't really paid much attention to him, but yeah. But yeah. And of course, we see sort of All Might's silhouette sort of thing, because, well, technically he's still alive and all that stuff. But yeah. But anyway, so out of curiosity, Lucky Chi, out of the, let's see, hero designs that are these previous users, which design is your favorite so far?
Hellboy's is pretty cool. I know we've technically seen Nana before, but I still like her design.
Yeah, her design kind of reminds me of the standard hero design you'd probably see in American comics.
Yeah. Although you could say the first users is a little plain, I think it works for his character.
Well, yeah. Well, to be fair, I don't think hero professionalism was a main thing at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course, it seems like him. But anyway, now what we're clearly seeing is the story about how 1 for All was created, but here now we get an exact events of like how it actually unfolded from the looks of it, as Midoriya notices, where you see the 2 brothers arguing about the big brother, All for One's actions, as he's then shows how he tries to justify his actions by helping these 2 people, one who is being bullied by quirk users, I think at the time were called meta powers. Which we'll probably build up onto for the second half of season 5, but we'll get to that.
We got a little bit of a tease in season 4.
Yeah, with the Meta Liberation Army kind of thing.
With the book, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, one who has been bullied by quirk users, or metas as they're called back then. And another who, who has been given a quirk, unfortunately feels like he's cursed as he's been picked on and despised by everyone for being sort of like a freak, and even his own parents are afraid of him despite trying to help them. So All for One, takes the quirk from the one guy and gives it to the other.
Yeah.
Let's see, now, on one hand, in normal circumstances, one might find this might be considered, a well-intentioned being noble of helping 2 people out, but it's clear that, All for One is, only doing it so he can control people and have them, owe him favors and all that stuff.
And we know that, yeah, like, and it's something like it's not unseeable to think that could happen.
Which is clearly what the younger brother is so against him using his quirk and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he's doing it. But as we can see, from the quirk transformations, it clearly isn't the exact same as when the person who had the fang teeth is transferred to the dude that then gets the spikes all over his body.
Yeah.
Anyway, but as we go on, let's see. It seems like All for One already has a bodyguard as he ends up beating up the younger brother. Then we go on about how All for One is just controlling people, those that are quirkless and those that have quirks, and those who resist to him get killed. With his younger brother saying enough is enough, and apparently, from what we can tell, All for One ends up basing his philosophy, or at least being inspired by apparently a manga or comic book series they read when they're younger about this demon lord who, did the exact same thing as he's doing, as controlling everyone. But his brother points out, you only read up to the 3rd volume. You didn't read in the end where the hero in the end stops him and saves the day. Because good guys always win in the end. Kind of thing, with the story kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
However, All for One says his brother's being, foolish, but it seems that this confirms one thing All Might was not be able to confirm, is whether or not All for One gave his quirk out of love or out of, spite or mockery to his brother. It turns out he does seem to care for his own little brother, being the only relative he has left. Even if it's in a sort of twisted sense, I guess.
I mean, the fact that his brother didn't even eat did kind of show you that he did and care about him.
Yeah, so he's finally found the quirk which can suit his brother and make him stronger, kind of thing, stockpiling. And then as we see the quirk going in, we get the flash, and that's when the flashbacks sort of end, because Midoriya can only use barely 20% of the quirk. Let's see, I assume that if he could use more, we probably would have seen, All for One fully activating and his brother and All for One realizing that he probably made a mistake. But yeah, as his brother turns out did have a quirk, but yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, as the younger brother finally notices Midoriya's presence, saying, so you are the 9th user, saying how he wanted to show him more but can't. But as Midoriya and him try to touch each other, Midoriya wakes up and we've seen from his room that he's wrecked the place as a result, seemingly activating his quirk in some sort of, form and manner. All these slashes in the chapter, and the episode ends, and we then get the preview for the next one and all that stuff.
Which was where which is more or less the tease at the end of season 4.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and everything that was, left wondering at the end of season 4 cliffhanger has finally been somewhat answered, if you ask me, Lucky G.
Sort of. I mean, it's still kind of like, well, because you're still left with the question, like, okay, that doesn't explain why One for All just exploded, but
But let's see. But clearly, but it's clearly a sign that we're about to learn more about this quirk than we at first thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, whether or not how anime fans will react to it in the same manner manga fans did remains to be seen yet.
You'll either be a blue star or you'll either be me.
Or for life.
Well, but my opinions aren't too different from 4 Lives.
Well, yeah, but you're more of like, let's see. While you and him are similar, but you've become more of the one way, while he's in more of the other way.
Well, to be fair, I've seen what's happened since then, so my skepticism, I'm still sort of skeptical about. I don't want to go into specific guys, but let's just say the arc we're about to tackle, which what me and Blue are kind of alluding to, is arguably the most controversial arc. And like I said, this was the arc, or after this arc was what kind of put me off from doing reaction videos to My Hero for the longest time.
So, only now you're just considering doing them again.
I know some of you might be sitting here going like, well, then why are you reacting to the episodes that put you off? And I said, look, I'm genuinely curious about how Bones is going to adapt it because, well, okay, I didn't hate the internship arc. Let me point that out there first. I think it's a good arc. I just think where the manga lacked was pacing, and of course, final fight was a little anticlimactic, but the anime did fix the pacing in that regard, which I did appreciate.
Now you're going to see if the anime can do it for the joint training arc in terms of pacing. But yes, but anyway, I think we've gotten a bit on let's see, thoughts on that stuff. Anyway, so Lucky Chi, what was your favorite bit in the episode? The favorite bits in both the first half and the second half. Since I think you've made it clear that you enjoyed the highlight for you was the second half.
Yeah. First half wise, I would probably and this is more so now looking back than anything, but I would probably say Dobby, just because you see the little seeds that are planted for what's to come.
For me, I definitely say it was the family dinner scene.
That was good too.
Now, for the second half, what part of the whole thing did you find most fascinating?
The history between All For One and his brother.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably it.
Like, even when I read that scene in the manga, I was like, this is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, in many ways, it's revealing nothing. Let's see, nothing that we already know, but it's actually showing a bit more about both of their philosophies, and when it comes to using their quirks and all that stuff.
And before anybody said, "Oh, this kind of comes out of nowhere," this I would argue was hinted at in the sports festival. At least this aspect of One for All. This is the part I'm like, all right, this is.
Yeah. Let's see. Granted, it might have benefited if perhaps Koei did a bit more of this benefiting, but I guess he couldn't figure out when I could do this until now. But yes, we're finally getting. We're finally getting more details into what happened with Midoriya's versus. Let's see, during the first fight Midoriya had in the sports festival.
Yep.
That stuff, but yeah. Out of curiosity, was there anything you didn't like in this episode? Let's see.
Not sure if there was anything I didn't like in the episode. I mean, I know there were a few line of dialogues that Dobby did say in the manga compared to the anime, but I don't remember at the top of my head what it was. But and I do remember he had a bit more things to say compared to what he mentioned.
One thing I think that I do notice that was probably cut out from the manga is like, I think the Class 1A, from when they were sitting on the TV reacting to like Darby entering the scene, I think that was cut out.
Too, yeah, I do remember that. That was.
It's a bit of a shame, really, but
I mean, when you go from how season 4 was adapted, more so like the last 2 episodes, you do have to find a way to work around it. So, and I said, and I did say this in my reaction video. I think the way they adapted the last 3 chapters, which anime only, I want to point this out to you guys right now. What was in flashback actually happened in present time in the manga. Yeah. That's one thing I want to address. That did happen in present time. But because, like I said, but because the anime, moved on ahead, of course they're gonna have it differently. But I still think it was as effective as it was in the manga.
Now, whether or not if My Hero Academia went in the production as like the old big 3 mangas did, Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, and did weekly instead of just like seasonal, we probably would have gotten it as main timeline thing. But that's clearly not what they've done with the manga. I mean, with the season.
I was going to say, Blue. What's your take on the way they handle the last 3? Well, okay, besides 193, because that's the chapter with the Vesters and whatnot. That was technically still present day. The 192 and arguably like the aftermath of High End versus Endeavor. How do you like that they had it as flashback, or would you prefer it if it was like immediately after?
I don't know. I feel like if it wasn't for the whole we must do 25 episodes. I could easily see them doing 26 episodes of season 4, and we could have gone this from last season.
Mhm.
At the very least, just done or at the very least, let's see, at least the family talks and all that stuff. At least the family talk stuff. Let's see, Midoriya and the Midoriya. Let's see, seeing the two brothers thing could have still been the opening for this season, but clearly that's not the route they decided to take it with. But
Yeah.
oh well.
But did you like that they incorporated it? Or would you prefer it the other way?
To be honest, I suppose if it wasn't for the fact that they did that first episode, we probably would have gotten this as not as a flashback, but I think it works for what they've done.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know which way is my preference, but I don't know, given the fact that usually when you're a manga reader, you tend to prefer how the manga does things rather than the anime, though there are exceptions.
Yeah. I think this is one of those rare occasions where I think it works either way.
Yeah.
I think if you were to watch the anime and then look at the manga, oh, this happened immediately after. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. So anyway, I think that's pretty much everything it is. The only thing left to do is grade the episodes. Lucky Chi, how would you grade it?
Well, on my own rating scale, amazing. Which, if you want a number scale, that's 9 out of 10.
Well, enough for me. I'm thinking of an 8.5, though. I might give it a 9, but I'm not sure if I should just do my own thing or follow your lead.
It's your call. I mean, here's the thing, Blue. I used to do number scales before, but then I was like, you know what? Everyone does that. I need to come up with my own system on how to.
But yeah, I think I'll just do it at least an 8.5 because it's a fun episode and all that stuff. I'm not sure. Let's see. Very impactful. A lot of things going forward. Granted, it could easily be a 9, but at the moment, yeah, just think 8.5 to 9 out of 10. Let's see, good episode. Very little to complain about. My only real criticism might be the fact that this is my just because I've seen in the manga. I'm kind of disappointed we didn't see Class 1A's reaction to Darby on the news thing, but oh well. Oh yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention. Let's see. One thing I forgot to mention, during the family dinner scene, the TV went on and we got people's various opinions about Endeavor, most of them not seeming impressed, and some being like, oh, hey, Endeavor's cool, I'm our supporter. The kid that said, don't give up just yet, has now become a sort of internet meme. Let's see, but yeah, that was funny. But I think it goes to show you, let's see, it's probably also how both in-world, let's see, views Endeavor and how the outside world, the fandom views Endeavor.
Yeah,
mixed bag. But again, a character like him was bound to be a mixed bag. But anyway, let's see. Now I've just remembered that one little thing. Let's see. We are now ending this, let's see, stream. Lucky Chi, thank you again for joining me. I'm not sure you want to do the same for the next episode, though granted, we'll probably be too busy doing your podcasts for the next few, unless you want to do them on another day afterwards.
Well, let me think. We could squeeze in the review for the episode of that, maybe either before we do the podcast or. Actually, yeah, I think we could do it beforehand. Because I don't think, and again, given with what we know from the manga, I don't think it would take that long to talk about it.
Fair enough. But yeah, I'm also thinking of doing, let's see, the Shaman King anime has also come out now. And I'm also, let's see, granted, I think it's supposed to be coming out on Netflix. I don't think it's fully out on Netflix yet, but I just need to check my Netflix. But I'm wondering if you'd also like to, let's see, review those episodes, since I believe you're somewhat of a fan of Shaman King. Not to mention, I believe we do have a manga wars planned for Shaman King, right?
At some point, yeah. I'm gonna have to find time to watch the episode though. But if I'm able to watch it, I'll give you a heads up.
And I believe Eden Zero has been out for at least 2 weeks now. I mean, I can't believe I didn't notice this, but heck, I only found out when I was watching the opening.
Well, it's not officially out though. That's the thing. It was someone was able to get like a special screening of it, and that's how.
Oh, okay. I see.
That's why I was like, you know what? I'll wait for the official
Okay, that's how I was able to find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
By the way, if possible, try and support these episodes as best you can, and let's see all that stuff. Be it, I don't know, Crunchyroll, whatever streaming service they come up on, stuff like that. But yeah, let's see. Or at least buy the Blu-rays and DVDs when they come out.
Yep.
Of course, if you do end up liking these series, of course. But yeah. But once those episodes officially come out, Lucky G, do you want to also discuss the Eden Zero episode? Since, let's see, I'm not sure if you haven't really talked Eden Zero much, really, have we?
Well, I haven't and I haven't done it purposely. I've just been super distracted with things over the last year. But
yeah,
I plan to get back to talking about the manga at some point because I know things have been getting interesting with that.
But anyway, I'm Blue Star Saber,
Lucky Chi,
and we are signing off. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Later.
Plus Ultra.